Should Booker want out of Phoenix?
Not only should he want out, and the answer to that question would be yes. Not only should he want out, I think that he has enough money because he's got about 5 years after this season on a new deal that he signed or what have you. I think that Devin Booker should arrange to have himself kidnapped. All right, and
how do you even come up with this
getting
stuff?
out of Phoenix.
It's a beautiful mind up there you have.
It's just absolutely horrible what this brother has been subjected to. Out of Kentucky, he's in his 4th year. Other than his first year when he was a rookie and he averaged 13 a game, he's averaged a minimum of 22 points per game. He shoots better than 45% from the field, better than 32% from three-point range. In terms of skilled guards, you think Kobe, you think James Harden, you think cats like that. This brother is on another level. Devin Booker can ball. Make no mistake about that. We need to understand that. And yet he's been in Phoenix, and the record has been 23-59, 24-58, 21-61, 17-58. In his 4th year in the league, they are regressing. They have been going in the wrong direction for the last 3 years. I mean, the most wins he's had in the season is 24. When you see talent like this, and they're subjected to this level of ineptitude, you know, he had to take the money, Max. I mean, you sign with your own team. You got to take the money first and then want to be traded. I promise you, all right? Even though he's never said anything to me about it, all right? I promise you, if Devin Booker is watching this segment right here, right now, he's like, preach, brother, preach. Get me the hell up out of here, please. Please help a brother out. I can't say this, but get me the hell out of Phoenix because it's been that bad since Steve Nash and Mike D'Antoni have been gone. The Phoenix Suns, under the stewardship of Robert Sarver, has been pretty much irrelevant. Yeah. And it's pretty much a damn shame.
Look,
I mean,
I'm not going to argue with you about the Sarver point. Dolan's the worst owner in the NBA. Sarver is probably his primary competition. It's a bad owner. Bad ownership leads to a bad franchise. Phoenix is a bad franchise, which throughout modern NBA history, Phoenix has usually been a desirable location. And it's weird because you look at a place like Dallas, and you always talk about no state tax and everything. That means something, especially to guys where there's a salary cap, because the most you can make is cap, but no state tax. Actually, you're making some more. And a team-friendly owner, it seems, until recently in Mark Cuban when bad news came out. But otherwise, his reputation was very good before that. And a talent on the team and everything. And yet, you never got the feeling people wanted to play it. Like, why couldn't they get top free agents? Phoenix was different. You heard guys like requesting trades to Phoenix. They put together great teams before D'Antoni and Nash were ever there. Charles Barkley wound up in Phoenix going to a finals, all that stuff. And now all of a sudden under Sarver, they absolutely stink. So I understand that point. But understand this point. I like Devin Booker a lot. Never saw this coming out of Kentucky, right? It just goes to show you, again, these one-and-done guys, it's hard to say. You got to give them some time, see who's going to pan out. I'm not sure Devin Booker's a winning player. I don't know. I know, like, I can blame it on the Suns, that's true, but he's not a defender at all, and he is a streaky shooter. So it is hard to say whether he is a high-volume scorer on a bad team or whether, as James Harden has done, you can harness his talent in the service of a winning team. He can be a leading scorer on a winning team, a playoff team. But I'll tell you what, he may have a chance in Phoenix. Ayton had a sneaky good year, and they could wind up with Zion or John Morant or someone. I mean, they have the...
He does need a point guard.
Right, sure. And imagine...
My boy Champ tells me that all the time. He does need a point guard.
Imagine if it's John Morant, and now the defense won't be great, but John Morant and Devin Booker and Ayton as your nucleus going forward. I'd like to see whether or not Devin Booker can be an ascending player on an ascending team, and given their draft position, I think the Suns are in a pretty good spot to be an ascending team.
Couple of points to make. Devin Booker, volume, has never averaged 20 shots a game in his career. The most he's averaged is 19 shots a game in this season and last season, number one. Number two, they made the Western Conference Finals with Alvin Gentry as their coach in 2009, 2010, if I remember correctly. Since that time, they've had 6 different coaches. 6 coaches in the last 9 years. I don't want to hear about Devin Booker. The Phoenix Suns as an organization, they're the problem. Remember when Eric Bledsoe was there? Remember the issues that he had and ultimately led to him being up out of there with management and what have you. Remember how that situation was handled? I mean, we can look at it. You could blame him. You could blame them. It doesn't matter. There is something that is not right from an organizational perspective. They have not been impressive. They keep getting draft picks. They keep doing little to nothing with them. And here's the biggest indictment. No matter how good guys look as a talent, as a team, it don't matter because somehow, some way, the one consistent thing that has transpired with these boys for the last 4 or 5 years is losing, regression, period. If I'm Devin Booker, I want to get the hell up out of there.
Well, look,
plain and simple.
They've had a bunch of talent on that team, especially in the guard positions, right? Like Isaiah Thomas and this one and that one, Dragic and all these guys, and yet they can't seem to find a winning formula. So if there's something rotten in the land of Phoenix and it starts at ownership, I agree with that. I'd like to see Booker on an ascending team. Can he become the leading scorer on a playoff caliber team? And I do see talent coming into Phoenix in the offseason to pair with Ayton and Booker.
Haven't even had a 500 record in 5 years.
Yep.